The Galactic Council's emergency session had been called for the third time this month, and Ambassador Zexar of the Altarian Collective was losing what little patience her species possess. The holographic displays around the circular chamber showed the same impossible footage, a human walking casually through the corridors of Station Omega-7 with what appeared to be a fully grown Void Stalker, trailing behind him like some sort of domesticated pet. "This is preposterous," his commander, Vexic, his reptilian frills flaring with agitation. The creature should have consumed him the moment it detected his life force. Void Stalkers are apex predators. They're the reason entire star systems remain uninhabited. Dr. Elena Vasquez, the sole human representative present, watched the footage with barely concealed amusement. The man on screen was Marcus Chen, a maintenance engineer who had somehow managed to survive an encounter that should have been impossible. The massive, shadow-wreathed creature beside him stood nearly 3 meters tall, its crystalline claws capable of tearing through starship hulls, yet it followed Marcus with what could only be described as devotion. "Perhaps," Dr. Vasquez interjected, "you should ask Mr. Chun himself how this happened, rather than debating the impossibility of it." The council chamber fell silent. The various alien species represented, from the gas-breathing Netherians to the silicon-based Quartzoids, all turned their attention to the human. In the 200 years since humanity had joined the galactic community, they had earned a reputation for surviving the unsurvivable, but this defied all known xenobiology. "Very well," Ambassador Zextar's voice resonated through her translation. "Device, bring the human before us." Marcus Chun entered the chamber an hour later, looking distinctly uncomfortable in his hastily pressed maintenance uniform. The Void Stalker, designated as Shadow, according to his personnel file, remained outside under heavy guard, though the guards looked more terrified than the creature did. "Mr. Chun," Ambassador Zextar began, "please explain how you came to befriend one of the most dangerous entities in known space." Marcus shifted his weight, running a hand through his graying hair. "Well, it's not really complicated. I was doing routine maintenance on the outer hull sensors when the station went into lockdown. Something had breached the cargo bay turned out to be Shadow here, though we didn't know what it was at the time." He paused, remembering. "The thing is, I was stuck in the maintenance shaft for about 18 hours. No way out, no communication. And I could hear this sound coming from the cargo bay. Not roaring or hunting calls like you'd expect. It sounded lonely." Commander Vexic's eyes narrowed. "Lonely. These creatures are solitary hunters. They don't experience social emotions." "That's what I thought too," Marcus continued. "But after listening to it for hours, I started to recognize patterns. It wasn't random. It was almost like it was calling out, waiting for a response that never came. So I started talking back." The chamber erupted in a cacophony of alien sounds clicks, whistles, and harmonic resonances that the translation matrix interpreted as various forms of disbelief and concern. "You communicated with it?" Dr. Vasquez leaned forward, fascinated. "Despite herself. Not really communicated, more like acknowledged it, I guess. I'd tap on the pipes, hum a little tune. Eventually, it started responding. Same rhythm, same pitch variations. After a while, it didn't sound angry anymore." Marcus looked around the chamber at the various alien faces staring at him. "When I finally got out of that maintenance shaft, I was starving, haven't eaten in almost a day. I had my emergency rations, just some dried meat and protein bars. But then I saw Shadow through the cargo bay window." He paused, his expression growing thoughtful. "It looked smaller somehow. Not physically, but like it was diminished. Curled up in the corner, not moving much. And I realized it was probably hungry too. These creatures, they're from the void between stars, right? How often do they actually find food out there?" The xenobiologist Dr. Clithara, whose crystalline form chimed softly when she spoke, provided an answer. Based on our limited studies, void stalkers can go decades between feeding opportunities. They enter a form of hibernation to conserve energy. Right, Marcus nodded. So I thought, maybe it's not trying to hunt us. Maybe it's just desperate. So I opened the cargo bay door and tossed in half my rations. The silence that followed was deafening. You opened the door, Commander Vexic said slowly, to the containment area holding the void stalker, and fed it? Seemed like the right thing to do, Marcus shrugged. The creature stopped making those lonely sounds immediately. Started eating, but real gentle-like. When it was done, it just looked at me. Not like a predator sizing up prey, but like my old dog used to look at me when I come home from work. Ambassador, Zextara's translation device crackled as she processed this information. And then I went back to work. Figured that was that. But the next day, Shadow was waiting by the maintenance hatch. Didn't threaten me or anything. Just ... waited, so I shared my lunch with it. Dr. Vasquez was taking rapid notes. How long did this go on? About 3 weeks before anyone else noticed. Shadow would follow me around during my shifts, help me reach high places. Those claws are great for gripping, and in return, I'd share whatever food I had. Sometimes I bring extra just for it. The human paused, a small smile crossing his face. The funny thing is, Shadow started bringing me things too. Shiny bits of metal, interesting rocks, even a few spare parts that had gone missing from the repair depot. It was like having a really big, really dangerous cat. Commander Vexic slumped in his chair. A void stalker ... bringing you gifts. Yeah. And purring too. Well, not purring exactly, but it makes this low humming sound when it's content. Sounds kind of like a warp engine at idle. The council chamber remained silent as the implications sank in. For centuries, void stalkers have been considered the ultimate threat to space travel, unstoppable killing machines that haunted the empty spaces between stars. Yet here was a human who had turned one into a companion simply by recognizing its hunger and loneliness. Dr. Vasquez finally spoke. Marcus, do you understand what you've accomplished? You've demonstrated that one of the galaxy's most feared predators is capable of forming emotional bonds. This changes everything we know about void stalker behavior. Marcus looked genuinely surprised. Really? I just thought it was hungry. Where I come from, you don't let anything go hungry if you can help it. Doesn't matter if it's a stray dog or an interdimensional space monster. Food is the universal language of friendship. Ambassador Zextara's form shimmered as she processed this revelation. The humans had done it again, taken something the galaxy feared, and found a way to make it into an ally through simple compassion and practical wisdom. Mr. Chun, she said finally, would you be willing to work with our xenobiology department if void stalkers can be domesticated ... It could revolutionize deep space exploration. Marcus grinned. Sure, but you have to ask Shadow too. It's his choice to make. As if summoned by the mention of its name, a low harmonic hum echoed through the chamber walls, the sound of a void stalker expressing contentment. Outside, the galaxy's deadliest predator waited patiently for its human friend to finish his meeting, occasionally purring like an oversized cat that had found its way home. The Galactic Council had learned something that humans had known for millennia. Sometimes the most powerful bonds are forged not through dominance or fear, but through the simple act of sharing a meal with someone who's hungry.